What does it mean to be a Telugu in Singapore? This seemingly straightforward question has no simple answers.
I'll tell you how I felt when I was growing up. There was no difference. It was like we were in a whole family where we spoke Telugu, and my mom used to sing Telugu lullabies to the babies. At the same time, she'll be singing Tamil songs also. So it was like both equally present in the house. So like wedding rituals will be in Telugu. They'll make sure it's Pakka Telugu rituals. But then we spoke a lot of Tamil. We did Tamil festivals, Tamil New Year's, everything will be in Tamil.
I grew up speaking the language and I have an affinity towards the culture. Even though I didn't directly come from Andhra Pradesh, but still that the need to keep that culture alive is a part of me. And it's very unique because it's hybrid, right? There's also a part of me that is Tamil, very much Tamil actually.
What Maithili and Nallu are both describing is a blurring of lines between Telugu and Tamil, which was the norm for the Telugu community in Singapore till very recent times. This phenomenon, however, has its roots in India, as many of the early Telugu migrants actually came from Tamil Nadu.
We came from Kumbakonam.
My ancestors are from Madurai.
We were Telugu people living in Tamil Nadu.
But why did this ambiguity in terms of Telugu identity continue in Singapore?
After we came to Singapore, my family came to Singapore, one would look at the geopolitics of the country and the circumstances that the country was in. So to get a common identity, when the second language policy and all these policies kicked in, you have to find a common ground. And so this is not just something unique to the Telugus. This is also something that the Malayalis did and the Kannadigas did. They banded together and they were willing to let their children study Tamil language. One way to look at it is because it's also a Dravidian language, but then to have some kind of common voice and identity, I think that was one part of it. To gain the identity.
My father tried to move away from the Telugu identity because the community was very small. Tamil community was very strong and they needed to work together to survive in this country at that time. So if you identified yourself as a Telugu or another community, there will be definitely some kind of division among the community. So many of them, I think, they moved away from their identity and embraced Tamil as their main identity here.
Mrs. Komalavalli Soundararajan, however, had a slightly different experience. A very practical reason made her family turn to Tamil learning.
இது எப்படி வந்துச்சுன்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா, ஒஃபியார் ரோட் ஸ்கூலில் மொதல் 7 வயசு 5 வயசில் கொண்டு ஸ்கூலில் விட்றாங்க. அப்போ அந்த ஸ்கூலில் போய் டீச்சர்கிட்டலாம் நாங்கள் தெலுங்கே பேசுகிறது. எங்கள் அண்ணனும் நானும் தெலுங்கு பிள்ளைங்களா இருக்க வச்சு வாத்தியாருங்கிட்ட தமிழ் பேச தெரியாத. அம்மா அப்பா தெலுங்கு தானே வீட்டில் பேசுகிறாங்க. அப்போ அந்த வாத்தியார் வந்து எங்கள் அம்மாட்ட, சீதாராம் அம்மா, நீங்கள் எங்கள் அண்ணன் பேர் சீதாராம், உங்கள் தாய் பாஷை உங்களுக்கு இருக்கும், இப்போ நீங்கள் கொஞ்சம் நாளைக்கு மூடி வச்சுங்க, அதை தமிழை பேசுங்கம்மா, பிள்ளைங்க படிக்க தெரியாமல் உளருதுங்க, பயப்படுதுங்க, ஒன்றுமே சொல்ல மாட்டேன்னு கம்முன்னு உட்காந்துருக்கு அப்படின்னு அவர் வந்து கம்ப்ளைண்ட் பண்ணி, அதுக்கப்புறம் எங்கள் அம்மா நைனாலாம் தமிழ் பேச ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. பிள்ளைங்க ஸ்கூலுக்கு போடுமே, அதில் தான் எங்கள் வீட்டில் தமிழ் வந்து நுழைஞ்சது. இல்லைன்னா எங்களுக்கு தமிழ் வரதுக்கு நோ சான்ஸ்.
The Telugu community did not just embrace a mainstream Tamil identity. Some of its members took a keen interest in the welfare and socio-cultural activities of the Tamil community. One such name is Ko Sarangapani, founder of the Tamil Murasu.
He was more towards Tamil culture, Tamilness, you can say. He was very Tamil oriented, but his background was from the Telugu community.
Another visionary from the community was Kottai Govindaswamy Chettiar, Maithili's grandfather.
He came here in 1906 and worked in Singapore harbour.
He later formed the Indian Labour Company.
At one time also almost 3,500 people were working for him, and he operated like a soup kitchen where he fed people every day, which was near Tanjung Pahar. So people who lived around there have eaten with him. People who worked for him have eaten. And when people left Nagapattinam port and were coming to Singapore, the harbour master would tell them, go Singapore, there's a man called Kottai Govindaswamy, he'll feed you and give you a job. So, and he was also a trustee for Sri Mariamman Temple. I think he did one of the renovations at the start. He was also the one who took over Bhattacharya temple from the people who could not manage the temple, and he rebuilt it. In 1948, before he passed on, he asked my father, who was his nephew and son-in-law, to rebuild the temple with the Rajagopura. So my father took over from there, and the first structure was up in 1975. It was called the Golden Temple in Straits Times at that time.
But even among these early migrant families and their descendants, efforts were made to remain conscious of their Telugu identity.
A lot of Telugu traditions have been preserved in families like mine. One important one was the wedding tradition, right? There are many aspects of the wedding tradition, be it the veil that is held between the bride and the groom, the yellow color veil, that is one. Second is of course after the tali tying ceremony, you put the bride and the groom put their hand inside the pot to fight for the ring, and then the sangi and all that, right? So this is very symbolic. Then the next thing is, I think the yatra, right? They'll carry the umbrella. So these are very Telugu traditions, and even what they wear, the type of sari the bride wears, the yellow sari, the checkered sari, and this kind of thing. So that was something that we stuck to. And when I got married in 2015, in fact, I don't know why, but I did it willingly. I told my parents I want that. So I did it very consciously, and I even told my parents, I think I want to get married in Perumal temple just like you all.
We used to celebrate Tamil New Year because we have come from Tanjung district. So we are not very familiar with Ugadi at all. Brothers got married to the Telugu girls from Andhra. They brought the Ugadi festival into the family. They said, why not we are celebrating Ugadi when we are celebrating Tamil New Year? Then we started celebrating both the New Years.
However, as Mrs. Komalavalli Soundararajan explained, it was the formation of the Telugu Samajam in 1975 that proved to be the main catalyst in giving the community an identity of its own. She recalls the names of its founding members.
ஒரு தலைவர் வந்து எங்கள் தங்கச்சியோட மாமனார் தான். அவர் பேர் தான் போடி நாயுடு. அவர் நம்ம வீட்டுக்காரவங்க எங்கள் நைனா எல்லாம் அந்த ஆம்பளைங்களாம் ஒரு 7-8 பேர் சேர்ந்து எல்லார் பேர், ஒருத்தர் சுப்பராயலு, ஒருத்தர் விஜயரங்கம், சொல்லவா விஜயரங்கம், ஒருத்தர் வந்து லட்சுமணசாமி.
The Samajam also served as a fillip for the community to celebrate events like the Telugu New Year for the first time in a formal setting.
பெருமாள் கோயிலையே மீட்டிங் சிம்பிளாக மீட்டிங் போட்டுட்டு கிடச்சிட்டதை ஒரு சந்தோஷமாக நம்ம ஒரு விழா கொண்டாடணுமே நம்ம அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு எங்களுக்கு வந்து தெலுங்கு வருஷ பிறப்புன்னு ஒன்று வரும். அது வந்து யுகாதி பண்டிகை அது பேர். அப்போ தெலுங்கு வருஷ பிறப்புக்கு இவங்கெல்லாம் யோசனை பண்ணி நம்ம வீட்டுக்காரவங்க எல்லாருமே பொதுவாக அதில் சேர்ந்தாங்க அவ்வளோ பேருமே ஒத்துழைச்சி ஒரு தெலுங்கு வருஷ பிறப்பு கொண்டாடுவோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கொண்டாடினாங்க.
The Singapore Telugu Samajam, which played an important role in maintaining the Telugu identity in Singapore, got a boost with the arrival of new migrants.
So we are doing, much more programs to preserve our culture, language, and to bring all our Telugu community together. If any issue, one person has any issue, we all go together and help them. So that kind of even welfare programs along with the cultural events we are doing.
The new wave of Telugu migrants places a higher emphasis on the Telugu language, cultures, customs, traditions.
This is very evident in the busy calendar of the Singapore Telugu Samajam, where events are carefully planned, curated and executed, from Sankranti and Ugadi to other traditional but lesser known celebrations. And these are done in a way that is quite unique.
Generally, every Ugadi festival, we do Perumal Kalyanam at the Sri Perumal temple. So we almost 100 couples actually will sit for the Kalyanam. Okay, we celebrate, and on that day we do organize Annadanam programs. See, this Kalyanotsavam is a bit different than what they are celebrating in India and here. So actually we introduced this Kalyanam for Ugadi here in Singapore only. Even actually what we do is, the Kalyanam day, we brought the prasadams from TTD, the laddu, Tirupati laddu and all. So we distribute to the Kalyanam people, And also, not only Kalyanam, the people participate in the Kalyanam, we also distribute the prasadam, the Tirupati prasadam, to all the people who came to the temple on that day. You know, another special is we prepare Ugadi Pachadi. You know, so it contains different kind of ingredients. You know, the mango, the neem flower, the tamarind, and we also mix up with chilies. So all we call shadruchulu. So we distribute almost 3,000 people on that day. This Ugadi Pachadi and Tirupati Prasadam.
To celebrate the harvest festival of Sankranti, the Samajam introduces the community in Singapore to how the festival is celebrated back in India, so as to give the youngsters especially a sense of their roots.
We do organize some Rangoli competitions. We call in Telugu Muggulu. Okay, and there is the traditional dress competitions. Okay, and we also do, we call it Vindu Bhojanam. It is actually, we almost 15 items we serve in the food.
In addition to these mainstream events, the Samajam has also brought in the celebration of certain lesser known traditional events.
Bathukamma is like floral festival back in India, especially in the Telangana community. They go and collect different flavors available in that particular season, and they come to the home, and they arrange different, like nicely they arrange, like it's called Bathukamma in different layers, and they put Gauramma on top of the this called Bathukamma. Starting from children to very old, they all together, especially ladies, they play, they sing, they celebrate the festival with lot of happiness and joy. We have done this Bathukamma in our Pungol Park, and before that we have done in some West Jurong side as well.
The Telugu Samajam's activities are appreciated by the older diaspora as well. But the question lingers, are there still two Telugu identities in Singapore?
I think one of the very significant differences is the dropping of the caste names. So I think the earlier wave of Telugu migrants who came from Tamil Nadu and all that, particularly Tamil Nadu, there's a very political significance for this, because at the time when this wave of migration was happening, there was a Seerthirutha Iyakam or reforms, a Tamil reform action or campaign that was going on in Tamil Nadu that was headed by E.V. Ramasamy Nayakar, who is actually Telugu by descent, right? And what's even more unique is that in Singapore, a similar situation was happening, headed by Tamilavel Ko Sarangabani, who is also an ethnic Telugu. So there is that connection. So actually, Ivera has come to Singapore before, gave rousing speeches, fight the caste system, and of course the other ills of society. They call it alcoholism and that kind of stuff. Fought against it and all that. So I think that first wave of migrants made a conscious effort, even though they were named Reddy, Naidus and all that. I think after that, some of them started dropping when their kids and the kids' kids were named, they started dropping the name Naidu and Reddy from their name. So my name doesn't have the word Naidu in it at all.
Religious practices present some areas of dichotomy. While the most important deity for the new migrants from Andhra Pradesh is Tirupati Venkatachalapati, the religious narrative of the older migrants is slightly different.
My family, where we come from Madurai, and that part of Madurai, my family deity is actually a Tamil family deity called Karpasamy. So Karpu in Tamil, in English, Karpu means black. But in Telugu, Karpu is Nalupu, Nallu, my name. The religious practice, customs is a bit different, but we are still Vaishnavites. You know what I mean? Like we pray to Perumal, but we also pray to Shivan.
Food is yet another area where differences are seen. The new migrants carry with them the food traditions of their native Andhra Pradesh or Telangana. Ask any of them what the typical Telugu foods are, and they rattle off a list.
We have many interesting foods in Telugu. Gongura, Burellu, pepper chicken, and garelu and చేపల పులుసు, నెల్లూరు చేపల పులుసు, కాకినాడ కాజా and Hyderabad dum biryani. We have many more varieties in both vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Ugadi is one of the most important festival for Telugu people, and for that we make Ugadi Pachadi. Ugadi day we make burelu. It's one of the authentic Telugu dish, and pulihora.
The same questions to descendants of early migrant families elicits a slightly different response.
It's highly likely that I could have eaten traditionally Telugu food, but I'm just not aware of them. Yeah. Other than just boli, that's the only thing I remember off the top of my head now.
With Teluguness being understood in such different ways by the early migrants and their descendants and the new migrants, what is the way forward for the community in Singapore?
The common goal of both generations are preserving our culture, language, and pass on to our future generations.